Welcome to Soul Citizen Interviews, one-on-one interviews with our Soul Citizen stream team and Star Citizen content creators. So sit back and relax and enjoy the interview. All right, y'all, so we're back and we're going to hear now from the voice, DigThat32.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you having your boy. But if we're gonna talk about the voice, man, I think you got it. Got that Quiet Storm vibe cracking.
So, Dig, I really appreciate you finding time to be on the show. Tell me, how did you get into being a content creator on YouTube?
Well, I started with Elite, and I bought that and Star Citizen at the same time. And I had always wanted to do a YouTube. I didn't know what I wanted to do for the longest. I just wanted to do something. And I was so excited about playing space games that, I'm just going to make 3 videos, sink or swim. If they go, they go. If they don't, at least I can say I tried it out.
So how did you come into Star Citizen? How'd you find out about it? Were you told about it by somebody, or did you stumble across it?
Well, I remember a long time ago, Chris Roberts announced it. This was, I think, maybe just getting into the Kickstarting phase. I'm not sure, but when I seen it, I was like, man, that looks incredible, because I've always been a big sci-fi fan, and we didn't have nothing like that on console, and that's when I found out that it was PC only. So I was bummed out because I never thought I would even touch a PC as far as gaming. But time went on, and I picked up a PC just because I wanted to mess with the VR when it had just came out. There were really some kind of janky games that went along with it. So I got Elite Dangerous, which looked like the most put together game for VR. And I got Star Citizen, forgetting what I had seen before. So I played it. It was just because it was really early, not a lot to do. And then, I picked it back up in November 2018 during CitizenCon. And I was blown away because they had come a long way. It looked fantastic. It looked ridiculous, man. And so that was a wrap. As soon as I started playing it, I knew it was good to go. I know it's still rough right now, but it's also incredible right now. It's rough and incredible at the same time.
So you say you were a console player. What was the transition to PC like for you? Was it a no-brainer, or was there really an aspect of transitioning to PC playing?
Transition to PC was tough for me because, again, I had always been a console gamer, so picking that up and trying to learn 100 different keys, I was like, how do folks do this? And I ended up getting one of those, I guess you call them game pads. It's a Logitech G13, not the mouse, but the game pad with the keys, I don't know, 30, 40 some keys just for one hand. And that made it a bit easier than trying to reach all across the keyboard to find what I was doing. But, it took some time. There was a curve, but rough at the beginning and no smooth. Now my holders can't beat those, in my opinion.
Now, I'm sure coming in when you did, you probably had heard both good and bad things about Star Citizen. What drew you to it? You kind of came in at a real controversial time. What made you decide to move from Elite into Star Citizen with such commitment?
Yeah. There was a lot of bad press. I used to kind of hate on it too, because I was kind of standing in the horde of people on the outside looking in. And when you're in that position, you don't really get it. You got to jump into the game and give it a little time to really understand it. Because if you're outside, you're like, okay, this is just a broken game that's taking forever. But once you get inside, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. This makes sense. There's no way to just crank one of these out in a year or two. That's ridiculous. Plus, the game has such ambition, man. Nobody has just kind of put the middle finger to the publishers like Chris Roberts done and successfully made something that's going to be a AAA project on the scale that this is. I mean, we're talking about building brand new technology that doesn't exist. I mean, they couldn't do that with the publisher. The whip would be cracking on their back to rush it out and then patch it afterwards. But it's a good ride, so I'm glad I jumped on.
Earlier, I alluded to the fact that you have a very unique, I said funky way of presenting your videos. They're very creative. They seem to be very well produced. What made you pick up that style? Because it's so different than so many other content creators out there.
Nobody's ever asked me that before. I'm just kind of a goofy dude. I love stand-up comedy. I watch about a boatload, man. I've never been a great off the cuff speaker myself, but you give me a laptop and enough time, I'll manage a few good jokes to get in there. I'm a huge fan of music too, and I've been around the perimeter of the business side of it for years. Been around incredibly talented artists who never make it to the wider stage, which is unfortunate, but the music though, music just outfits you with a vibe and the feeling just lingers. So being a goofy dude who's never been a very dynamic speaker, I just kept throwing music and goofy into the pot and stewing it on up till I start getting something that starts kind of tasting right. I mean, really anybody willing to put in the time and repeatedly fail can eventually cook up something tasty. You know, one of them tasty joints that you take home from the cookout on 2 paper plates with the aluminum foil and the juice from the greens dripping out the side. Anybody could do it that's willing to put in the time and, you know, willing to fail until it becomes a good thing. The other thing is I want to take you on a ride, man. My documentary instructor used to say that all the time. He didn't care about none of the little BS that you thought was so clever about your film. He'd be like, man, just take me on a ride. And so that's what I try to do. I'm having a ball with the game, man. I want you to have one too. So just come on a ride with me, man.
Well, I got to say it again. Your videos are very well done. In fact, I took your 1-minute HUD video today and posted it in Test Squadron.
I know you was in Test Squadron, man. All right, man, you've been holding back. Now DigThat32 got to turn this thing around on the interviewer. You picking up some notoriety in the community, so you tell me what drew you into Star Citizen. What's your background in the verse, Doctor?
Okay, you would do this. All right, I'll make it as fast as possible. I'll just stick within the space sim realm. I was a big player of Star Wars Galaxies. After that died, I went to Eve, where I played that for about 6.5 years. And after becoming a bit disillusioned with that, a friend of mine who I used to play with in Eve told me about Star Citizen. I started tracking it in 2013, and by the end of that year, or beginning of 2014, I decided to buy a Penguin. I got an Avenger, and after that, it went up to a constellation, Andromeda, and after that, I was in the rabbit hole. So that's how I got deeply into Star Citizen. Well, listen, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I got to once again mention, folks, check out DigThat32. He's on YouTube. He makes awesome videos. If you are new to Star Citizen, if you're a veteran of Star Citizens, you definitely want to check out his videos. I'm hoping that one day we can get this brother on the show, not just hear him, but see him, because he's got to put that beautiful face with that beautiful voice. So y'all throw y'all votes in, hit him up, say, Dig that. We want to see you on Soul Citizen. But otherwise,
Absolutely.
We'll take the interview for now.
Salute. Make sure to listen to more of this guy. I know I will be. And if you'll have me, I'll definitely be back for more to spread the message of the verse.
Most definitely. Thanks for coming on the show, Dig That.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody, peace, love, and soul.
Deuces.